All right, so personal empowerment and well-being, a transformative journey to develop self-awareness, emotional intelligence, resilience, and practical self-care skills. This workshop provides tools and exercises to help you thrive in everyday life. Now, this is important actually because right now, a lot of people, we don't do this. You gotta have something in your life where you could practice how to manage stress, regulate your nervous system, deal with the pressures of everyday life so that it don't kind of build up on you and you have a moment where you explode or overreact to something simple. So what we'll learn in this module is core values and strengths, discover what matters most to you and identify your unique personal strengths. Building emotional awareness, learn to recognize and regulate your emotions effectively in different situations. Building resilience, develop a growth mindset to bounce back from challenges stronger than before. Self-care planning, create a personalized self-care routine that fits your lifestyle and needs. Resource mapping, identify local resources for ongoing mental and physical health support. So emotional awareness to me is a big one because a lot of times you be mad and you don't even take the time to think like, man, I feel angry right now, or I feel this way, and it's like, why do I feel like this? What about what just happened is making me feel angry, anxious, worried, whatever it may be. And once you start to take that approach and view of it, you're actually able to navigate it a little bit better because you can kind of check yourself. And doing that, it help you build resilience. You can plan around those feelings or things as they arise. So if you notice that you feel the same feeling every time you get into a certain situation, you can make that, you'll start to be more aware of it and have something to put in place where if you feel like this, you take a deep breath, or you take a minute before you respond, or you go walk by yourself for a second, whatever you need to do to manage certain feelings as they arise. So self-awareness is an identity. Values clarification. So you need to identify your top 5 core values from a provided list, then share one value in small groups to explore its importance in your life. The next thing will be a strengths finder. Discover 5 to 7 personal strengths and share a story about using one strength to overcome a significant challenge. And then identify identity and intersectionality. Reflect on how race, gender, history, and life experiences shape your unique identity and perspective. Understanding who you are forms the foundation for personal growth and authentic connections with others. So everybody got a pen and some paper? I want y'all to get something to write with because we're going to go over this first. We're going to clarify your values. And what I want you to do is identify your top 5 core values. So I'm about to read off a few just to give you all an idea. So we'll do this. Go around the room. So Jaquil, what would you consider your core values? And you can think of things like honesty, integrity, perseverance, timeliness. It's not, it don't got to be perfect.
You said that what?
A core value that you have.
Showing up as I am, so.
Okay, write that down.
How many you say you need right out of 4 or 5?
5. Say your top 5.
We're talking about us, right?
Yep. What about you? What's one of your values?
All of my values?
Yep.
Not to give up.
Okay. So that would be perseverance. Chris?
I was gonna say loyalty.
All right. You said respectfulness? Okay. Lalo?
Straightforward.
said pay it forward?
Straightforward.
Oh, straightforward. Israel?
Responsibility.
All right. JD?
Give respect, respect nothing less in return.
Okay. What about you, Jordan?
Discipline.
All right. You got one, Kedrick?
I'm gonna go with the same with Chevy to perseverance.
Okay. So understanding these values about yourself is the place to start when you want to develop like your own personal foundation for what you operate off of, your moral compass, what you can and can't tolerate, what you feel is right or wrong in a sense. And knowing that, you'll be able to discover your personal strengths as well. So what is one of your personal strengths that you feel like you have?
Come back to me.
Okay. Xavier, personal strength was one of your personal strengths you feel like you have.
Personal strengths. Got the ability to learn stuff real fast.
Okay. You got something, Jordan?
Nah. What was the question?
One of mine is win people over. I took a test, strength finders test, and I want all of us to take that today. And one of the things, that's one of the strengths I found out about myself. Like I have a will to like win people over.
Okay. What about you, Chris?
Strength. I don't know if this is strength of my personality. I don't know if this would be considered a strength though.
It could be.
Yeah, that's true.
Showing the person that I could do it.
Okay. Posey?
Problem solving.
All right. Arlo?
I'm well-rounded. I know a little bit about a lot.
All right. JD?
Focus orientated. Don't start nothing, I don't finish.
Okay. Israel?
Fast learning.
All right. What you got, Kedrick?
I'm gonna say critical thinking.
Okay. So all of those are things that, again, you could build upon. And you're already using them in your daily life just to get where you are now. And the more that you are aware of those strengths, it'll help you make better decisions, help you navigate your own feelings and emotions better, and kind of lean off into those to help you grow even further. So reflect on how race, gender, history, and life experiences shape your unique identity and perspective. So, Jaquil, how has any one of these things or all of them combined shaped your life experience and the identity that you have right now in the perspective that you have on life? You being a black man from, what part of Chicago you from?
West Side, Garfield Park.
So you being a black man from West Garfield Park, how has that shaped your life experiences, or how has your life experiences being from that environment shaped who you are, your identity, and how you view the world?
I mean, I look at stuff different now that I'm getting, that I'm older and stuff. About me being like black on the West Side, it's like most people think we a fail or we ain't doing nothing. So as I be coming to my little class and stuff, and I be talking to people, it's like damn, you from out West, and you really got some brains on you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just when I talk to people, they'll get a different perspective from when I don't talk. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Chavez,
Yeah.
where you from? What part of Chicago you from?
Southside, Onyx.
So, same question for you. Being a black male from the South Side, Wild Hunters, how has that shaped your life experiences and who you are today and how you view the world?
How it shaped my lifetime experiences.
Mm-hmm. Like the experiences that you've had growing up and being from there, how has that shaped who you are as far as your personality and how you view the world today?
Okay. Yeah, growing up, I just see like a lot of people ain't making it in my neighborhood type stuff. They be dead, jail, or still on the corner trying to make something happen. So that made me like,
think to myself, like, I don't want to do that. So, shit, that made me change, get my shit together a little bit, and, you know, let me help.
So your direct experiences where you came from being a black male has helped shape
Yeah,
your perseverance.
yeah, for sure.
And that's what we all, sometimes you got to step back and look at it to kind of bring all this stuff together. So all of your experiences in West Garfield Park, all of your experiences on the South Side and the Wild Hunters have shaped who you are, how you think, and has gotten you here right now in this room. So Chris, what about you? Where you from?
Chicago Heights.
So being from Chicago Heights, you know, how has that shaped?
My bad.
Are you good? How has that shaped who you are, how you view the world, your personality?
It shaped me to just become hardworking, because that's all I've had around me. Being out there, my grandfather was a hardworking man. My other grandfather was a hardworking man, so it just shaped me to be hardworking now. And what was the other part of the question?
That was it. It ain't nothing too crazy. It's really just about how, yeah, your race, gender, history. So the question it's a reflection. Reflect on how race, gender, history, and life experiences shape your unique identity and perspective. So Halsey, where you from? You from Inglewood, right?
No, I'm from Lovell.
All right. So how has that shaped your unique identity and perspectives? Your life experiences, being where you're from, being a black male, how has that helped make you who you are today?
Really, I want to say from my neighborhood or whatever, it shaped me to be a bad person. Obviously, when I was young. So it shaped me to do bad things, but I paid the penalty for them, like going to jail. So now that I'm here, them bad things from my neighborhood that put me in jail shaped me to be this person as I was in jail to do the right thing. But the neighborhood shaped me to be a bad person.
So it's like now those experiences you being here, you're doing what you're doing in spite of where you come from. And again, like I said, you need to be aware of this, understand who you are at a core level, because at the end of the day, part of your journey here, living and experiencing life, is to learn who you are. There's you heard of The Art of War with Sun Tzu? And one of the quotes in that book says, if you know thyself and thy opponent, you should not fear the outcome of 1,000 battles. So if you know who you are at your core and have a good understanding of yourself, you should know how things will play out. You know what you can make happen or what you're capable of. So Lalo, where you from?
North side.
North side. So being from the north side, how has that shaped your unique identity and perspective now?
Well, north side just be having all types of different people in there, so I feel like it just have to be a good judge of character. I've met all different types of people.
Okay, so up until this point, your life experiences and where you're from has helped you shape and mold or come with a better judgment or a better sense of judgment. Israel, where you from?
I'm from Indiana, from Michigan City.
Okay, and how has that shaped your identity and perspective?
Like being in a mixed area. I'm light skinned, right? But still, like, we all black men in America, like white. Just seeing how, like, we still kind of, like, we prey on each other, like, as humans. Like, it's not even really about, like, hunting or, you know, how the natives and shit was living, like, hunting animals and gathering the different resources and stuff. We don't really do that. We got grocery stores and, you know, so it's like I always just kind of feel disconnected.
Okay.
From everything. So a part of like entering the program and, you know, reaching out is trying to reconnect and kind of get back grounded with everybody else, basically.
So essentially, coming from where you come from, the things that you've seen, it just feel like it's not easy to connect or integrate with.
It's it's like disturbing, like to see like how, you know, like I'm from like it's a smaller area, so once you come to Chicago, you see like how much like exponentially is like you have to like be more defensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Jimmy? Where you from?
I was born in the woods, raised in the wild. I don't understand what that language. I was born in Inglewood, raised in the wild hunt. But it correlate with each other. You know, growing up, man, you know, I started off, man, you know, my mom put me in a Catholic school out in the suburbs when I was a child. You know, so I thought life was this big old fantasy. But they took me, I used to go back to reality on the weekend, and that was Chicago, come from the suburbs, you know. And the first time I got shot at, I was like 6, 7 years old.
Man.
So I go to play with my cousins now, and I go around the building, everybody running in my direction. I'm going to where they at. So I just see a man coming, and he shoot. So I ducked down in the gangway, but as the feet approached me, as a 6, 7-year-old child, you know, I might be finna die. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't even did nothing, I just came outside to play.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So that right there was one of the first effects of my life. Man, you got to survive in this world, man. You know, so like I said, I'm born in the wild and raised one point in the woods, raised in the wild, because that's pretty much how you had to live coming up. You had to be tough coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Guys out there were straight bullies, man. And you come outside, they, you know, you had to face these things, man. So, you know, I was the baby boy. I got 2 big brothers. I'm watching them get beat up all the time. I said, no, I ain't living like this. So, man, I learned how to fight. I learned how to fight good. By the time I was 12, 14, I was bad. I'm whooping all my brothers when I was 15, 16. Couldn't none of my brothers whoop me, and grown men too. You know what I'm saying? So that mentality, losing my mom at 16, I became a very angry, violent young man. You know what I'm saying? That anger got me 21 years in prison. And those 21 years was my wake-up call. To say, if I can survive this, I can survive anything. I ain't giving up. I don't care how bad things get. I ain't giving up. And what y'all see in the world today, y'all see a lot of people giving up.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me? I got in my mind, I don't care if I had to apply for 100 jobs. One of them gonna take me. I get turned down 99 times.
Yeah.
But one of them,
Yeah.
take me, I'm all good. I can eat,
That's all you need.
okay? I can sleep okay. I can pay my bill. You know what I'm saying? People, you can't, you know, can't fake phony fraud kick with this stuff, man. This stuff, real life is for real.
Mm-hmm.
In order to survive in this world, you need at least $200 to $2,500 a month to pay your bills, keep your bills paid. And then if that's all you make it, you ain't got no expense money. How you gonna entertain? How you gonna go out? All that's your bill money. You gotta put yourself in a position where you can actually survive out here, and you're not looking at a predicament where you're gonna lay on the sidewalk and be comfortable and okay with it. Because that's what they doing out here. Y'all look at the street. People's out there is getting boxes, cardboard boxes, and coats and roll them up and making a pallet. And they comfortable. They don't want no better. But you gotta want more for yourself.
Man.
That's all I gotta say.
I think something that I noticed just from him speaking, and maybe y'all can relate this, like a lot of people are experiencing the same things in just different ways.
You got no idea.
And you need to understand that, especially as you get out into the world, you start working and dealing with all these different personalities. Yeah, it look like a different person, but everybody going through something. Everybody has dealt with some type of background that has made them who they are. And for us, as black men, it's more than likely a background that has made us resilient, resourceful, we can deal with a little bit more than average.
And Chris, remember I always tell y'all, I don't have bad days, them life lesson days, because you learn something. You learn something, you learn how to perform better next time, or get a better outcome the next time. It wasn't a bad day. God wanted to show you something that day. You
Gotta-
just got to listen.
Got to find the lesson. So, remember, understanding who you are forms the foundation for personal growth and authentic connections with others. So, knowing who you are, like I said, to a core is going to help you navigate things a lot better. You'll be able to show empathy and understand where people may be coming from because they're not any different than you. Just like you all have a story about where you come from and how it shaped who you are and how you think now, every person you meet has a similar story that has shaped them in some way, shape, or form. And if you're conscious of that, you can navigate conflict better. You can navigate stress better, regulate your nervous system a little bit better, be able to check yourself in moments where it feel like it may be a little frustrating or things are getting hard. And that's the mentality I want you all to cultivate. When you out here dealing with this work life and you going through the day-to-day, because the normal day-to-day stuff that you deal with not gonna stop. The problems that you usually have, the stuff that's usually irritating to you is still going to be there. And now you're going to have a job to maintain on top of all of that. So it's a must that you figure out how to regulate your life. And it starts with regulating the inside, the mind, the heart. Because if your mind ain't right, your heart ain't right, it's going to roll over and spill out into the material world. So the emotional wheel exercise is usually the emotional wheel to identify and name your feelings with greater precision. Share in small groups about a time when you experienced a strong emotion and what triggered it. So we're going to go around. 'Cause the time you experienced a strong emotion and what triggered it. Okay. Chavez, a time you experienced a strong emotion and what triggered it?
Strong emotion.
Yep.
I showed a strong emotion 2 weeks ago when that girl was cutting up my shit. Boy, yeah.
All right, Chris.
So the strong emotion.
Yeah, well, a time you experienced a strong emotion and what triggered it?
What triggered it? Come back to me.
All right, Hosey.
Yeah, my kids, some kids try to jump on my son at school. But triggered it. They ain't finna do it, but what made me feel the way I felt was because I felt like I ain't prepared them for something like that.
So what was the feeling though? Was it like a disappointment? Was it anger?
It was a disappointment.
Okay. Israel, a time when you felt a strong emotion and what triggered it?
I'll say something good.
Yeah.
My first car. Just out of body. Like, super excited. Big plans. We going racing, etc. and everything.
He said racing.
Man, custom Chevy on white walls and just the imagination just running and shit. But yeah, that's yeah.
Okay.
Like adrenaline.
Excitement of a new car. Of the car you wanted actually. What about you, Lalo?
Jail. Dread. That's it.
Say it one more time.
I said jail. I felt dread. I just like jail's not fun. It's just like I knew I was in for. I was gonna be the bare minimum. I was just dreading that.
Okay. What about you, Jimmy?
Women, man, women. I always get accused of being with other women. when I'm not, when I don't. I can do it, but I don't. I just choose not to.
So what?
And what kills me is, and I went through this with my first wife, getting accused of messing around when I'm not messing around. So if you accuse me for so long, eventually I might as well.
So what would that feeling be?
I got to argue with you about something I shouldn't even have to waste my breath on. So a lot of times I don't even argue, I just be sorry.
How can we let's relate that to disdain?
Yeah, or like you just feel so like
And I'm
disrespected.
And then she's like, what the fuck? I just had 2-3 women trying to holler at me and I ain't giving no kind of play.
Oh, that's like
but I'm being accused.
But yeah, frustration.
Frustration.
Dick dry as hell. You know, dick dry, pussy punishment in effect. You know, all that bullshit, man. I feel when you deal with a quality class woman, that's what, you know, you gotta deal with that too. They don't want you to touch them if they think you touching somebody else. But I ain't touching nobody else.
What about you, Kendrick?
It'll be over with this week, baby. This week. Never had that. I gotta step out the room on that one. I'm perfect. Yeah.
He just had real flashbacks.
Come on, man. Don't tell me you miss her, man.
No, I'm glad the fucking people ain't tell her the special pass so she can't go get her keys. So she couldn't get on the plane yesterday. We wait till tomorrow now. I gotta get on the plane.
It's gonna be all right, dog.
What's up? What you got? What you got, Kendrick?
The emotion party, when a family member passed, that was like my first real death in my family, for me at least. So I say pretty upset and sad that it happened.
Okay. Now, the purpose, a good thing with this exercise is, like I said before, when you feel a certain type of way, if you can actually pinpoint what you're feeling in that moment and why you're feeling it, you can navigate it a little bit better. Because when you just mad and you just get to going off and you ain't even trying to understand why. That's when you make bad decisions. You end up doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, whether it's putting your hands on somebody or saying something you can't take back. And those are really the top two. Because one thing with people, us as humans, people don't forget how you made them feel. So it is very important that you are able to navigate and regulate how you make people feel. And you can't let a moment or an emotion have you say or do something that you can't come back from, or something that a person is not gonna forget. And what happens a lot of times, and we experience this all with our women, sometimes family members, you could do everything under the sun for a woman. The first time you get mad and say something crazy, she ain't gonna never forget it.
Not only is she not gonna forget it, but it's actually like it turns into a response rather than like it's a reaction. It's not even, she's not even thinking about it no more.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta like really sit there and wait on her to, like, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like let the little static go and then continue. It's crazy.
She's not gonna forget that, but she gonna forget all the good stuff you did.
I'm telling you, man, that shit go out the window, bro.
So it's like, that's not only with just women, that's in your work life too. You could be on the site and be a top performer, reliable, and the first time you go off on the site manager, that's what they're gonna start relating you to, or that's what they're gonna start remembering you for. Oh, he's a hothead. Yeah, he's a hard worker, but you can't tell him nothing. So you gotta be able to catch these things. As you start to feel yourself heat up or your feelings start to rise, you need to be able to pinpoint it like, dang, I'm feeling frustrated. And I'm feeling frustrated because of how he talking to me right now. And now that I know I feel frustrated, before I respond to him, let me take a deep breath. Or let me pause before I give my response. And these are practices that you need to institute all throughout your life, not just with work. Work is important because it's your livelihood. But dealing with anybody, family, friends, strangers, we gotta have control. As black men, minorities, we don't have the privilege to lose control and do or say anything based off how we feel. Everybody in here know at least one person who you done watch crash out or ruin their life because they said or did something based off how they felt. And it was something that they couldn't come back from, whether they harmed somebody, they said something disrespectful to somebody, and it only take a second. So you gotta be conscious of first how you feel and be able to call out a certain feeling and not be ashamed to say, oh, I'm hurt, or I'm sad, or this is frustrating, I'm anxious, I'm worried. These are all natural feelings that every human on earth deals with. And the more that you can be open with yourself and say like, man, I'm feeling frustrated right now, or that made me sad. Even with your relationships, you deal with women. A lot of the problems that we have as men is we have a problem saying like, hey, what you did made me kind of sad, or hurt me a little bit, because it don't feel normal. It feel awkward to say that or talk to your partner like that. And 9 times out of 10, by the time we say it, we mad. And it come out aggressive, it come out wrong. And what really was happening is your feelings just hurt. Your feelings hurt, and you too macho to let her know that your feelings hurt. And the same thing goes with work. You on the work site and the site manager boring down on you, keep getting on your head. You don't know that, oh, I'm just frustrated because he keep talking like this. Or I'm frustrated because I got to keep hearing his mouth. You got to start thinking like that, because once you're able to regulate your internal environment, your world externally will start to change as a reflection of that.
Let's see what the end of that say. Okay.
Which one?
At the bottom.
So the next thing is grounding techniques. So practice the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 mindfulness technique. Identify 5 things you see, 4 things you feel, 3 things you hear, 2 things you smell, and 1 thing you taste. So what I would tell you that's a little simpler than this is just breathe. Take a deep breath in, hold it for 3 seconds, breathe in 3 seconds, hold 3 seconds, breathe out 3 seconds. And so something I do, I practice meditation. And don't get me wrong, I don't do it as often as I should or all the time, but I've done it enough to now be able to catch myself in certain moments where it's like, okay, I'm feeling irritated. Let me take a breath or take a couple deep breaths and try and calm myself down.
That right there, that helped though. I was doing that with the Mayafa in the mental health group. That five things you see, 4 things you see, that help. Actually, it calms you down once you start thinking about it and you speaking on it. That helped real good.
Okay. And there are a lot of techniques that you can use. The main thing I want you to think about is breathing at all times. And this is something I didn't realize. Whenever you feel anxious, angry, worried, frustrated, it's a good chance that you're not breathing properly. You're breathing shallow and fast.
And cause hyperventilation.
So just to be able to take a step back in the moment and you will feel an immediate slight relaxation. And you can do that a couple times. But these are things that you need to practice, because when you go out into the work field, there will be several instances where somebody might be frustrating you. Whether it be a site manager talking to you, somebody working too slow with you, whatever the case may be, you got to stop, check yourself, observe how you feeling, call it out, and work to calm yourself down. And get over that feeling before you say, speak or do something. So why emotions matter? Emotional awareness improves conflict resolution, communication effectiveness, and decision making in everyday situations. So being aware of how you feel will definitely help you respond better. If you're talking to somebody and you catch yourself, man, I'm getting frustrated. Just that alone, that thought, is going to help with your response. It's going to help you not reply from that frustration, because it's not necessarily real. It's a moment in time where you feel something, and that feeling is gonna pass. And it happens all the time, especially for us as men. I think we make that mistake quite often, is that we feel some type of way, and we gonna go immediately. Soon as it get to that boiling point and you can't hold it in no more, or you tired of trying to let them talk, you snap. And it ain't necessarily like you put your hands on them, but you may get to talking more aggressively. You raising your voice, or the words that you're choosing to use are a little more hurtful. And then after the fact, you look back. I think we all had the moment where we sit back and be like, damn, I ain't had to say that. Or I could have said it like this, and that might have went a little bit better. So it's like catching that before you respond. Being aware of your emotions before you respond or act will definitely have an impact on what you do next. Emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness, recognizing what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. I'm gonna read that again. Emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness, recognizing what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. So the key thing that they're saying there is be self-aware first. You cannot control anything outside of yourself for the most part. If you can't control yourself, the rest of the world is going to be out of your control. So knowing how you feel, being able to call it out, put a name to the feeling or the emotion, and having some type of practice in place to calm yourself down when you start to feel this way, or when you start to feel these emotions rise. So we're gonna go around and share a personal story of overcoming a hardship in a supportive environment, and just identify elements that were inspiring that helped you overcome that. So Chavez, share a story of you overcoming a hardship.
Coming a hardship?
Yep.
Shit, was going to jail. When all the time I did in jail, and coming back out here, get my GED, get to college and shit like that.
Okay. And what elements of that were inspiring? Like going through that, what inspired you as you went through that to kind of? Mm-hmm.
Well, jail inspired me. I don't want to go back in that motherfucker.
Okay. Chris? A personal story of you overcoming a hardship, and what through that hardship inspired you?
Probably just helping my mom out, like while my dad was in jail. It inspired me to, basically, to show that I could, support my mom if it ever comes down to it. And plus, so I could, support the house in case things go wrong.
Okay. Halsey?
Kind of got the same thing as him. Jail. What inspired me to get through it. Cause I got kids at home, and my girl was able to handle all of it while I was in and she inspired me too on the phone with her, talking me through, what I need to do when I get out, how I need to do it. And when I was just recently in jail, I was in the drug program, and we had, like people, teachers and stuff, they was talking to us every day about how y'all need to stop doing drugs, and so that inspired me to not do drugs when I get out. That, doing drugs clouds your thoughts or whatever, what you want to do and how you should do it. And yeah, I don't smoke weed or nothing.
Okay. Israel? Personal story of overcoming a hardship, and what inspired you throughout that?
Me, I would say it was like getting out of jail. I just went to the county. I never been to prison. But it was definitely getting out and like having to like get out of that mindset of like, damn, it's like I was just in a place where it's like it's a potential I might not leave here. Like depending on, you know, niggas want to fight and all that shit. And I ain't, you know, like I'm turning down all things. I'm not gonna lie, you got right up to here. Because like I'm not here for that. You've been here way longer than me. They just revocated my probation. You feel me? So I did that. But I couldn't get a job when I got out because I had a pending felony. So I've been dealing with that for like 4 or 5 years. It's not being able to work. Like a regular job, and then losing like my DoorDash and stuff. But despite all that, I just got my GED. I do like odd jobs and stuff like that. Just trying to, like, you feel me, stay productive without not really being like legally allowed to be on the commercial market and all that. So definitely just getting through that. Definitely anything could have happened. I could be back in jail. So that's one thing that like kind of stays in my mind when I'm like either making a schedule or just going about my day. And just like, man, just maintaining, like seeking out success, continuing my education and stuff, and that's it. Man.
Okay. Lalo?
The same thing. I'm about to say jail. I just I did like a little bit. I did like 5 years straight. So I seen a lot of motherfuckers leave and then come back months later. And then I see some motherfuckers leave and then be on the news because they was dead. Shit like that. So I just seen it. I was like, man, the whole 5 years of my bid, I was doing shit though. Like I was like getting I got my GED. I got a lot of college credits. I got like 14, 15 when I was locked up. So I just seen a lot of shit that I was like, man, I'm not gonna be like them, you know? Because in my head, I was like, man, I'm gonna make it home. I know I am, you know?
Mm-hmm.
My type of case. And I was like, man, I'm gonna make it home, but I ain't gonna go out there and tweet because I seen that's exactly what they do. I see motherfuckers fighting bodies, beat a body, and then go home and fucking come back for some like goofy shit or just die. You know? So I was like, man, I gotta do better. I can't fall like that, you know?
Okay. Jimmy?
Pretty much similar stories, you know. Man, I was 19 years old. I was a pull-out king. So I went to prison at 19. And I ain't had no children. In a way, I was good. I was glad I wasn't making no children. Because it wouldn't have been good for their father to be in prison. But long story short, man, I had to do 17 and a half years. That's what they told me, 35 and a half, that's 17 and a half years, man. And I caught some cases. I caught some assaults on some police. I had did an extra 4 years. But in the process of me trying to make it home, and I piggyback on what he said about not knowing if you're going to make it home. Because see, when I was there, especially in maximum security prison, 2 people, at least 2 people, got found stabbed to death somewhere in that prison. You know what I'm saying? So it was really like a life and death situation. It was all about surviving. You was gonna make you or break you. If it made you, you was gonna become a much stronger man. If it broke you, you was gonna become a patient in a psychiatric ward, walking around on Thorazine like a zombie. And then they return you to society. Okay? I didn't do that. I didn't even watch TV. I watched TV 1 or 2 hours a day. News, sports. I kept my head in books. I read over 10,000 books in prison. I want to be a Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? And I sat and watched these guys come in and out of prison like he talking about, going out there getting killed. A lot of things, man. I prepared myself before I got out of prison. I started saving maybe 10 years before my release date. And when I came home, I had close to 10,000 in my check. How many people you know come home from prison with 5,000 or 10,000 in their checking account? That's why they come back, because they weren't prepared when they got out there. Now they in thirst mode. They ain't got nothing, so they got to go rob somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or you ask mama, daddy. I wouldn't come home asking nobody for nothing. I had a wife that was on my team. I got married before I came home. So that was all I needed right there, my support team.
Okay. So, a growth mindset shift. And this was transform a limiting belief. Example, I'm not creative into a growth statement. So, anytime you think, oh, I can't do this or this may be too hard, you got to flip that to, you really need to believe you can do anything. Anything you willing to put your mind to and give some consistent time to, you can do. It's really not too much. The only thing that you can't do is stuff that you believe you can't do. I don't know if y'all have ever heard that saying. I can't think of who said it, but if you believe you can't do something or you say you can't do something, then more than likely you can't. The opposite is true as well. If you believe you can do something and you say that you can do it, more than likely you can.
Let's go back. The only person can stop you is you.
Yep.
Because you didn't take the initiative.
So in the fixed mindset, I'm either good at something or I'm not. A growth mindset, I can improve with practice and persistence. And this is the mindset you want to have at all times. Any challenge you come up against or anything that you face in your life that you feel may be giving you a hard time or challenging, you got to know you can improve with practice and persistence. The reflection prompt, I think we kind of just went over that as well. Everybody kind of faced a similar challenge, whether it be through prison or losing people, family, that has made you more resilient and more resourceful already. So you already exhibited the growth mindset in which you can improve with practice and persistence. But being aware of it and taking that into any environment or any task will help you. You'll be amazed at what you'll be able to accomplish. So build a self-care plan. Brainstorm activities across domains: physical, emotional, social, and spiritual. So we're gonna go around. Jaquil, what's one self-care thing you do or know of? Like what's something you do for self-care, whether it be working out, watching TV, meditating, playing a game? Like what's something you do that helps you feel like it's for you, something for you?
I mean, I listen to music.
Okay. Chavez? Something you do for self-care?
Self-care? Take time out of my day and take a nap sometimes.
Okay, that's a good one. Chris? You said food?
Hoop.
Oh, hoop. Israel?
Food is a good one. I like making my own stuff. So it's like really just like taking the time out to like focus on one thing and not really worry about anything else.
So cooking is your thing. All right, Lalo, what's one of your self-care things?
I kind of just avoid a lot of fuck shit that I used to like do, like dumbass shit. So that, I guess.
So detachment.
Yeah, detachment. There you go.
You, Jimmy?
Man, I soak in the bath once or twice a day, man. But nice hot water. Wash yourself, clean alcohol. When y'all get older and the body starts to y'all don't soak in.
Little Epsom salt.
It's just
Epsom salt.
Yeah.
What about you, Kendrick?
I probably got a couple things. I'll probably say hoop, music, and take photos for my photography days.
Okay. So mine is meditation, go for walks, listen to music. I actually just start doing more photography, just taking more pictures, just trying to stoke the creativity. Like, and it's so much you could do, but you gotta have something. You need to have something that you take time to treat yourself in a way or care for yourself in a way, because as men, everybody in here is responsible for probably at least one other person in some capacity. And it's like, even just that alone is enough where you trying to navigate your own life and your own mind, and you still got to make sure this person is good or that person is good. You answer for such and such, and you show up for family. So it's important that you have self-care, that you practice self-care. and learning different methods of self-care to add to what you already do is good as well, because sometimes you may not have the time to do what you want to do. You may not have time to go hoop, or you may not have time to sit and cook you a meal or soak in the tub right then and there. So that's why I tell people meditation, because that's something you could do walking around. As you out throughout the day and you think about it, it ain't even got to be nothing wrong. Just take a deep breath. Take you a nice deep breath. Breathe out. Do that a couple times just to relax yourself. Like, be conscious of just trying to relax and making it a habit to check on you. I go for my walks. I check on me. I breathe. I reflect. I listen to soothing music. Like, I like listening to classical music. I might turn on some Beethoven or some Chopin or something just to hear something peaceful. So, resource mapping. There are plenty of local health resources, including clinics, mental health services, and wellness centers. We have a long list of resources. Explore how proactive health management impacts work performance, relationships, and satisfaction. So, proactive health management is going to help you be a better person. Not even just a man, but a better person. And I can tell you from experience over the last several months, I've adopted going out and walking 10,000 steps a day, which is around 3-4 miles a day. Taking certain vitamins and nutrients to help with my cognitive function and my thinking, and like overall just health. Get my push-ups in, get my steps in. And I've noticed a tremendous difference in how I'm behaving and how I'm acting throughout day to day based off of these changes. So that's something I would advise everybody to do, is start taking some vitamins. Have you a little set routine where you get up and do something physically active every day, because you have to exert energy. You can't just hold on to stale energy. When we go through something every day. Every day you've probably had at least one encounter with something or someone that frustrates you. And you don't do anything to relieve that a lot of times. And you kind of carrying it with you, and they just build up. Sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes it be a day where it's just one thing after another. Everybody getting on your nerves. The car acting up. It's a bill due. Your girl talking too much. Like, it be those days, and all of that energy builds up on you, and you carrying it around with you. You don't even realize it, but it's projecting in your conversations, in your body language, in your tone. So you got to get good at having these self-care routines to put that stuff down, so that you can be at your best as much as possible. And being at your best starts internally. A lot of things you deal with in life start internally, whether it be in your heart or your mind. And you take that stuff out into the world and be having conversations or dealing with people. You short on patience. You irritable. You need to move the body. You need to exert that stale energy and figure out a way to get it up off of you, so that you're not carrying that into situations that it has nothing to do with. So self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary maintenance for your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Take time this week to implement one new activity and notice its impact. So everybody, this is easy. This week, go for a walk. Take you some time. And I understand some people's neighborhoods may not be the best to do something like that. But if you got to go somewhere, go to a nice neighborhood and walk around. Go to the track, go to a school or something, but go for a walk and see how you feel after you've done that. And I guarantee you will feel a little bit better, a little more relaxed. So, how will you use what you learned today? Think about one skill or insight you're taking away from this module. It could be a grounding technique, a new mindset perspective, or a core value. Share it with the partner. Verbalize your commitment to reinforce your intention, and then write it down. Document your insights to revisit and strengthen your practice. Small daily actions lead to profound personal transformation. Start today. So everybody, after today, starting from today, pick you one thing, whether it be going for a walk, practicing some meditation, something. that you start doing daily to try and work on your self-care routine, because you're going to need it. We do not do this enough. And this is part of the problem. We have so many reactive people in our community. Everybody is just piling on stressors and triggers, and there is nothing being done to help you ground and release those feelings or that energy. And at some point you're gonna snap. It's like anything that bears weight. If you put enough weight on anything, it's a good chance it's gonna break, or it's gonna start to fracture, and it's gonna compromise the integrity of the foundation that it's built on. So you have to figure out a way to make sure that your foundation stays solid, because the pressures of the world ain't going nowhere. You gonna deal with them and all, and honestly, it's going to be more of them. If you're aspiring to do anything great or accomplish something, whether it be making a lot of money, buying a house, getting a new car, with all of those things comes new pressures.
So basically he's saying, think and plan while you're doing self-care. While you taking your walk, soaking into, listen to your music, you thinking and you planning. Mm-hmm. They say your next move will be effective.
And reflect. You also need to take inventory. Reflect on the day prior, or the week prior, the month prior. What progress have you made? What could you have done to have gotten further? What do you feel like you should be doing to better yourself? Like, it's a growth mindset is not just a one-off thing. It don't stop once you have one good day where you really sit down and you meditate, or you go for a walk. It's a compounding. Everything compounds, good and bad. The more you practice self-care, it'll compound, and you'll start to notice that you're handling situations better. You're not getting as angry. You're not as irritable. You a little more at peace. You can have a little more fun, even when things are irritating. And I want you guys to have that, because we all deserve to have some semblance of peace. We all deserve to be at ease as much as possible. The world throws so much at you, and in the midst of them throwing all this at you, there's nothing telling you how to navigate it or how to manage this.
Yeah.
And this is how you do it. Your self-care is probably one of the most important things you can start to do on a regular basis, because you have a nervous system that runs through your whole body from head to toe. Every time you feel an emotion, it affects your nervous system directly. Your nervous system controls your thinking, your breathing, your movement, everything. And if your nervous system is out of whack, you're not going to make good decisions.
I just went to the museum. I just saw the Linnaeus shit.
Yeah, it's thousands.
I got it in my phone. Matter of fact, I took a picture of it.
You have to learn how to regulate it. Because the one thing I don't want to see is none of y'all get out here and get to work and lose your job because you couldn't keep it cool, or end up catching the case because you couldn't keep it cool, or something was frustrating you. You've been carrying all these problems from your home life, and now you at work and you short, you irritable.
And somebody bothered.
Yeah. You gotta really be like
manage them emotions.
A sensei or something, like be able to instantly catch it.
I feel like some people, like, when they see you, like,